This is September 1st, 2023. This is the first day of the Lion Diet. I have been on a kind of carnivore way of eating for about a month. But pretty much I stuck to the carnivore diet, although I did have a couple of cheat days last month. Anyway, there was only two where we went to. A salad bar, all you can eat salad bar, and I felt terrible the next day, and I did have a pickle. And a friend of ours bought us lunch a few days ago. It was tacos and taquitos from because we were on the reservation, so it was a local family that makes this food, so I didn't want to be rude. Anyways, I felt terrible after the next day as well with the tacos. Weight was 236 when I started last month. As of today, I'm 229. My whys, I am in a lot of pain still. I have a lot of pain in my back and my hips, and just overall fatigue. I am grieving. My dad passed away in July. He had Alzheimer's, dementia, and pulmonary fibrosis. I was his caretaker for about the last 5 or 6 years, and it was very hard. I don't have a job now. I quit my job officially in January to take care of him full time, although because he got to a point where he needed somebody to be with him 24/7. And I have a little bit of insomnia. I think I'm averaging about 4 to 6 hours a night, generally maybe 4 or 5. Last night I had 5 hours of sleep. I don't know if that's because of the caretaking or the grieving. I don't want my grief to turn into depression. And anyway, I decided to track my journey on video. 1 year ago in July, I stopped being a vegan. I was a vegan for about 6 years prior to that, and I became pre-diabetic according to the blood test from my local IHS and in-health service physician. And I have very high triglycerides. They prescribed statins for me, but I never took them. I think I took one, and because of what my dad was going through, I read some things about statins, and I didn't want to do that. So I told the doctor that I was going to use my diet, which it was a vegan diet, and the vegan diet did work initially for the first year, I believe. I did lose weight. I felt good. I don't know if it was because I went off of the regular way of eating, but 6 years in, I was pre-diabetic. I gained a lot of weight. I was never able to be satiated. I was experiencing a lot of pain in my body. My lower bowel, I was having pain every morning. It was mysterious, and it was a little scary and unnerving. Last July, I decided to stop being a vegan, and because of all of these weird, like the pain and the prediabetes and the bowel issues that I was having, being a vegan, I was always so fatigued. I was always so tired, even like I am now. I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's the grieving, but I was always hungry. I could never be satiated, even though I was eating huge amounts of rice and legumes, and my diet was very high in fiber. It was like very high in fiber. Anyway, in July, I decided to stop eating like that, but I didn't want to go back into just like eating a bunch of junk and stuff. So I remember that I was doing a Atkins diet in the early 2000s, so I did some research on that, and I came across the keto diet. So my mom and I tried keto for about 6 months. She lost a lot of weight immediately. I lost some. I probably lost about 10 to 15 pounds. And I was doing good until January. I went on vacation and I just started eating regular or normal and very bad anyway. And that's when my dad got the level of his sickness got increased, and he got a lot worse. So from then I didn't track anything I was eating. I was just eating for comfort and for just I was sad and scared, and I just was eating everything. So when Dad died, it was I had about a couple of weeks to really pay attention to how I was feeling, and I was feeling exactly the way I felt right before I stopped being a vegan. So I know that it's whatever it was, it has to do with the way I'm eating. I know that I also had really bad neuropathy in both of my hands. I am kind of a little semi-ambidextrous, so my left hand and my right hand, the pain and the numbness and the kind of like that nervy electrical feeling was painful, and it's on both hands. I don't know if that was because of the pre-diabetes. I don't know if it was because I have been working in front of a computer in a cubicle for the last 18 to 20 years. So it could have been maybe a little bit of a carpal tunnel issue, never diagnosed, or if it was the vitamin B deficiency. But the good news is that from last month, going on the carnivore-like diet, where it was near zero carbs, except for the time when I had those went off of it for a day or so, my neuropathy is gone. Mostly, it's probably about 95% gone. So it's for example, I'm holding my phone in my hand, and my hand is barely a little numb. Before that, it would immediately go numb, and I wouldn't be able to hold this camera, and I was always shaking my hands to kind of like wake him up, and it was just very uncomfortable. It was hard to sleep. Ibuprofen does not work on this type of pain. Tylenol does not work, but reducing the carb intake, probably the sugar as well, maybe the seed oils, it totally it really helps it a lot. So just that one thing is benefit enough for me to be convinced that there is something in this way of eating. So I decided to take the plunge and go a little bit more into carnivore, strict, and a little bit more pure. So I'm going to do the lion diet, which is just beef or ruminant animals. Now, I tried to eat some lamb and I couldn't. I took a bite, and then I just the taste of it, plus just the thinking of a cute little lamb prancing around in a field, I had to spit it out. I could not do it. So I can't. I'm not sure if I'll ever try lamb again. Maybe if I'm really starving. But I can eat steak and I can eat hamburger. At first, the last year, it was kind of hard for me to cook it. I just didn't know how, because I hadn't eaten meat for about 6 years, and just the thought of it, it was really unnerving. But I'm used to it now, and so I'm gonna try just beef. I'll be including salt and electrolytes. I like Element Tea or Element. I like the flavorful ones, but I'm gonna try to maybe just limit those, and I'm gonna stop drinking coffee, because I don't know if the coffee is what is still making me have a lot of pain in my body. Besides the neuropathy, I have a very I'm gonna have to change my hand here. I have a little bit of pain still with my finger, with my hands, but not as bad. I do have a lot of skin discoloration from the pre-diabetes. I am Native American. So my skin is very sensitive to any like type of scarring and everything. It gets dark right away, and I think so. I'm very curious to see if that will clear up. Let's see. And a weight loss is just a benefit, but I think that might help with the pain as well too. The 236 I think was one of like the heaviest that I've ever weighed. I am 5'2", so I don't know. My goal for now is to get to 200 pounds. I will be very happy with that. I will reevaluate and maybe haven't set another goal. But for now, my whys are to try to see if eliminating everything except beef, salt, and water is going to help with the pain that I have in my lower back and my hips, and just general overall through my body. If it's going to resolve 100% the neuropathy in both hands. I'm not sure if I'm still pre-diabetic. I have not checked my blood sugar. My other why is the grieving. I don't want this to turn into depression, and so I'm just curious to see how it will affect my overall mood and my sleeping. When you have a parent that dies of dementia or Alzheimer's, there's a fear that comes over you that you're next, and I don't want to be next. And so I want to do everything I can to stop that, or hinder it, or slow it down. So this is why I'm here, and that's my other why. It's just everything that I went through with my dad. Those are my two whys. At this point, there's probably a lot more. So anyway, my name is Lisa. This is just my documentation of my life with this new way of eating, and we'll just see what happens.